Hey Tribe YouTube fam and Thailand crowd. In this video, I wanted to share with you, I just booked my tickets to Da Nang, Vietnam. I'm gonna shoot over there and check it out for a week just because I have to leave. But since everything is fresh in my mind, I just wanted to kind of walk you through some kind of tips and tricks on booking flights. Now I'm flying from Thailand to Da Nang, Vietnam. And now this is going to apply if you're kind of doing what I'm doing, because I live in Thailand, or you want to vacation to Da Nang. So some of this stuff is going to be common sense, but I'm going to share some nuggets in there just from experience from traveling, living abroad that you might not think about. You get me on that? So let's get rocking and rolling and dive into this. Now, like I said, I just booked everything probably 2 days ago, so it's fresh in my mind. And I actually have to leave. So I'm leaving 2 weeks. From 2 weeks from today, filming this video, I am leaving for Da Nang, Vietnam for 1 week. And I'm kind of pretty excited because I have heard excellent things about Da Nang. So I'm pretty excited to jump over there, check it out. But I actually have to leave. So because I have the DTV visa and it's coming up to a year now. August is going to be a year that I've been in Thailand. So I have to leave and come back. Now, a couple things here really fast before we dive into it. Now, if you're thinking about living abroad or at least checking it out, you want to live here for 6 months or a year, one of the things you're going to have to do, depending upon the visa you have, I'm going to put a disclaimer on here, is most of the time you're going to get into a situation where you're going to have to do visa runs or border runs. Now, a border run is where you're not leaving by plane, is you're pretty much going to the border of Thailand and crossing and coming back. And I've done several of those over the last 4 years. And in the beginning, now, really quick here, I've been traveling for 25 years, okay? But since 2021, I've been living abroad. Rather than just taking vacations for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, since 2021, I've been living abroad. So the thing with me with border runs is I did them in the beginning because I've never done them before through all my years. And now if you hire really a great agency that does them, you might have a good time maybe doing your first one. You get me on that? But I mean, I started doing that. Then I started doing border runs by myself. And when you do them by yourself, most of the time, every time I come back, it puts a sour taste in my mouth. You don't have that great of an experience. You either get caught up with schemes and scams. They don't want to go by your visa because I have a multiple entry visa. They don't want to go by the parameters of your visa. So you either get stuck overpaying for things or paying to come back into the country. For me, I just got tired of that BS. Okay, so for me, from now, to kind of control my environment, to control my peace, and to have an excellent time, this is what I would recommend, is get on a plane and leave and come back. Visit a neighboring country. Go to Cambodia if you've never been over there. Go to Da Nang, Vietnam. Go to Japan. Go to China. Go to Dubai. Check out a different country for a couple of days, then come back to Thailand. Because if you do that, when you leave by airplane, you're pretty much zero, almost zero, that you're going to be caught up with scams and schemes. And your overall experience is going to be A+. You're going to have a fantastic time. You're going to have a wonderful experience. So when you come back to Thailand, you get me on that? You had a great time, and you're full of energy. Okay, you're not coming back thinking in yourself, oh my God, like I got scammed and ripped off. They overcharged me for everything. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to protect your energy, protect your environment. So like now, when I have to leave, I jump on a plane and go visit someplace else, and I come back, and I just come back refueled, ready to rock and roll. So that's what I would suggest for you if you live abroad, because that's what I'm kind of doing now. Let's talk about some pointers here with Da Nang. Some of the things I kind of look for that's really going to help you out if you don't live abroad. Okay, when you live abroad and you live in Thailand or you live in Asia, you kind of become aware of these things and you know what to look for. So this is what's going to really help you out if you don't live abroad. Now, one of the things with Da Nang, Vietnam, what you have to understand with Asia, pretty much all Asia is the same. Okay. Uh, I mean, I used to own property over in the Philippines, so I have about a decade of experience over in the Philippines. I've lived in Thailand for 4 years. I mean, every time I go to Asia, it's the same, no matter what country you go to. So one of the things I knew with Da Nang, and you can find this on YouTube, and you find people who live in Da Nang, and they're just doing massive construction with Da Nang. So, and that's in the prime area. So, like for me, I don't want to go to Ding Dang and be secluded. Okay, right now in Thailand, I feel secluded because I'm up in Surin. So the last 6 months I've been in Surin, and it's like I'm on a religious retreat right now. You get me on that? Like it's literally like, I'm just working on myself, focusing on work for the last 6 months. That's what I've been doing. So when I want to go over to Da Nang, like I don't want to be any place secluded. Okay, I want to be in the prime spots. I want to be able to. I want to be able to walk out the resort, and there's places to walk to. There's things to do where I don't have to take a taxi all over. So that's going to be my biggest thing for you, is really look that it's not secluded. You're in the prime spot of Da Nang. Because Da Nang is kind of big. The ocean kind of stretches out. So you can kind of be in the prime spot, or you can kind of be stuck where all the locals live, where the only thing to do is go to a local shop and go to the beach, and that's it. You're not around the party life. You're not around the touristy areas. So I didn't want to be secluded, bottom line. So that's one. Make sure your hotel or your resort you stay is not secluded. And you might have to do research on this. Now, from my experience, even if you contact the resort, they will tell you what you want to hear. That's kind of the bad thing with Asia. Not just Thailand or Vietnam, it's all over. They'll just tell you what you want to hear. Then when you show up, you find out different. So that's one thing for me. I want to better go out, walk around. That frees you up that you don't have to take a taxi all over the place. Okay. Now it's your choice, but for me, you don't want to be put in a position where 100% of the time you have to take a taxi or a motorbike taxi, or you can rent a motorbike there, but I'll get to that later. So that was for me. Now, number 2 on my list right now is construction. And I believe I hinted at that. You want to make sure that you don't want to spend good money on a resort and they're doing construction right next door. And construction is real, my friends, if you haven't been to Asia at all. Now, even in Thailand, they're constantly building. They're constantly fixing things. They're constantly fixing the roads. They're constantly building a new condo. They're constantly building a new apartment complex, whatever. And you don't want to book a resort and you spend great money for it because you want to have an awesome time. And right next door is a prime construction zone right out your window. And it does happen. It does happen flipping a lot. And it happens all over the place, not just in Da Nang, Vietnam. So living in Thailand, I knew that. Okay. So what I would do is you have to go through like the reviews of that hotel and make sure people are not saying you're in a construction zone or construction's right next door. Like when I look I'll show you my hotel here in a second that I booked, but I was finding that in a lot of hotels in Da Nang, like in the prime spots, is that you're in a construction zone. And I didn't want to be in a construction zone. So make sure you look at the reviews. Now, what I work in IT, so I use AI and I use Chat GBT to do this for me. If you go to if I could talk, Chat GBT, if you type in the hotel you want, you ask it, like, do a deep research for me, like in the reviews for construction zones. I don't want to stay. And it will pull all the reviews and recent reviews for you to see. Now, I honestly, 100%, like some of the resorts I really wanted to stay, I didn't stay because construction was happening right beside the resort. So don't forget that. Okay, people forget this, the construction zone. Construction's going on all over the place. Don't look at the pictures, because when you look at the pictures of Da Nang, I don't know why with Southeast Asia, Thailand's bad at this too, is they use Photoshop in all their pictures, and the pictures will show no construction. The pictures will look like everything's built up, then when you go, everything's not. You get me on that? So those are really my 2 top concerns, is I wanted everything walkable. Okay. I didn't want the resort secluded. And I paid attention to the construction zones. Now, other than that, let's jump over to the computer here. I'll do a screen share with you guys, and I'll show you what I used and who I booked through and stuff like that to help you out a little bit. Some of you may know this, but let me move this out. You can't see what I'm dragging around here, but that's my recording device. I can only see it. Now, what I use overseas is I use Oganda.com. This is the website. You can see it right up here. Is Oganda, this word right here, .com. This actually was the main site I used. The camera's up here. I'm so sorry. I got two cameras going on. I'm staring at the computer. I'm in La La Land right now. But when I first moved to Thailand, I lived in Phuket for 1 year, and I actually did resort living in Phuket for 1 year. So I know a lot about booking and resorts in Thailand because that's all I did for 1 year. So I use Oganda.com. I never had issues with Oganda. I never had issues with the little schemes and scams like some other sites will do. They'll change rates on you and stuff like that at the last minute. So I use Oganda.com, and what I ended up doing, and I'll explain something really quick here. What I ended up doing with my flight, in the beginning, I thought it would be cheaper to book everything separate. Sometimes it's cheaper to book everything separate. I book my flights and my hotel separate, or sometimes check out bundle deals. Okay. Now in my experience here, the bundle deal was cheaper than doing it separate. So that's what I did. Another key things to kind of keep in mind is you want local rates, especially if you're right in Thailand or you're in Southeast Asia. You want to go to the local Asia airlines like Vietjet Airlines, stuff like that. These are how locals travel. Locals don't go to the US sites. They don't go to booking.com and all that stuff where they charge you $100, $150 more. So you'll get more local prices going to the Asia airlines like Vietjet and stuff like that if you want to fly over to Vietnam. So that's what I used, but I didn't book it separate. I booked it as a bundle deal, but I used Oganda. So up here in the corner, you can put flight plus hotel, and it books the bundle deal for you. And Oganda actually uses the Asian airlines. So I actually got Vietjet, like I just told you, in a bundle deal. Now the hotel I used where's the hotel? This is the hotel I booked in Da Nang. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's called Cell de Mar. That's how I would pronounce it, but I don't know how they pronounce it in Vietnamese. So this is the resort I booked, and I didn't get the normal room. I actually got a suite. So this is the one I got just because since we're going over for a week, I thought might as well splurge because I haven't done anything for a while. And that kind of brings up kind of a different kind of, I kind of think different when it comes to this kind of stuff, because let me share something with you really fast, is because like when I do, now this, for me, this isn't just a visa run, border run, jumping on a plane, going across and checking out Da Nang. This is kind of a little mini vacation. It's a little mini recalibration because I've been working really hard, focused really hard, especially up here in Surin where there's really nothing to do. I mean, when I say that, you're up north. I mean, if you've been up in Surin or been up north, you know what I'm talking about. It's really just a time that you focus on you focus on work, and all the distractions are not here. And so the whole point of going to Da Nang is, yes, I gotta leave, but it's also a little mini vacation, a little mini recharge. Go over there, have a great time, stay in a terrific place, and, be over there as the most successful version of you and live as that high identity of you if you follow my channel in success and manifesting. So for me, it has several different layers. Okay. So it may be different for you, and that's okay. Okay, that's the bottom line. You know what I mean? We all live life on our terms. We all do things our way, and there's no judging. But that's just for me, and I just wanted to share that with you. So let's jump up back over here. Now for the grand finale here. This is the hotel, the resort I did. Now another thing I forgot to mention. This is why I jumped over here, because I remember it, is when you go to Da Nang, Vietnam, you have to file an e-visa. But usually, if you're I'm from the United States. Usually, if you're from the United States, you pretty much can fly to any country and stay. As long as you stay under 30 days, you don't need a visa or e-visa. But now, a lot of Asia countries, you need an e-visa, and Vietnam is one of them. So this is probably the cheapest site I found, and this is called evisa.gov.vn. This is where I filed my e-visa for Vietnam. It costs $25. And the reason why I say this is I actually went to the Vietnam embassy website. You can actually file a visa on that website, but once you click that you're from the United States, it's $80. It's like 3 times as much. So once I saw it was $80, I was like, holy, that's way too much for a flipping e-visa. That's, that's just a crazy amount. But over here on this visa site, and it's legit, I filed my visa through here. It's the Ministry of Public Security, Immigration Department of Vietnam. It's $25. So it's super easy to do the e-visa. If you've done visas or tourist visas before, it's crazy easy. But I just want to share this site with you. That way because there are a few different sites that overcharge you a little bit. That I just wanted to share with you. But other than that, friends, tribe, YouTube fam, my Thailand fam on here that keep up with me with Thailand when I do Thailand videos sometimes. If you have questions, comment below and I'll help you out. Now, I will make more videos on this. Like once I go to Da Nang, of course, I'll make some content and videos and stuff like that. But this video is just more like, since I just booked everything was kind of fresh in my mind, wanting to share those nuggets with you. And most of it is most of it's common sense, but most of it you're gonna know. But sometimes we forget. It's just human nature. You book everything, you're so excited to go, and you totally forget that, holy crap, I don't even know if the resort's by a construction zone. Then you show up and it is. You know what I mean? It's just simple stuff like that. Or sometimes you don't even think about it. So that's why I kind of want to share stuff with you, walk through it here. But anyway, peace out. Remember, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.